Hey guys, Ronald Rage coming back at you with another new video. This week I'm going to be talking about Banjo-Kazooie. Ah, what a game. Where to even start? So I guess to start out, I'll tell you guys how I got my N64. Banjo-Kazooie was the reason why I got a Nintendo 64. Out of the blue one day, Rare sent me a tape in the mail, and it was pretty much explaining Banjo-Kazooie. And before this, I only had a Super Nintendo and a Game Boy Color. So the graphics for Banjo-Kazooie absolutely blew my mind. The tape was actually awesome, and I looked all over the place for it, but it's like a VHS tape, and I'm guessing my dad or my mom threw it away. But yeah, it was awesome. It explained every level. It was this guy just talking about all the upgrades you can get, everything you can do in the game, and I wanted it so bad. So after begging my parents for months, I finally got a Nintendo 64 for Christmas, and I played the crap out of it. Um, I know I got Banjo-Kazooie for it, and I got two other games. One was like a toy soldier army game, and the other was a racing game, but the only one I really remember was Banjo-Kazooie. So yeah, back then Rare was by far my favorite video game company. It actually still is one of my favorites, but they don't exist anymore. We're just gonna keep it at that. Why, Rare? Why? How? Why did you do that? Anyways, sorry. That just happens sometimes. But yeah, Rare was definitely my favorite video game company back then. After I got the N64, pretty much all I got was Rare games. All I played was Rare. I got a lot of games, but Perfect Dark, I loved that game. Definitely played that over 007 any day. I actually managed to get Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's actually kind of funny. I told my parents the M was master rating. That it's for really good players, not mature, but master. So they actually managed to buy it, and I guess nobody said anything when they bought when they bought it from Target or whatever. So enough with the backstory. Let's get into the good stuff. So before we even start playing Banjo-Kazooie, it starts us off with this awesome cutscene introducing all the characters playing in their little band, giving us that little introductory tune that we all love. So the story starts out with Gruntilda, the stereotypical evil witch. After reading the newest issue of Fat Hag Monthly, she thinks she is the sexiest thing alive. Okay. So after looking into her cauldron that shows off Tootie, Banjo's sister, who is obviously prettier than her, she gets furious. So she hops on her broomstick, flies away, and goes to steal Banjo's sister Tootie, while her awesome helpful brother sleeps the entire time. So the reasoning why she steals Tootie in the first place is so she can use her machine that steals one's beauty and gives it to the other. Gruntilda obviously being the one that receives the beauty while she takes it from Tootie. So after all that, Banjo finally wakes up. And we start off the story by talking to Bottles, this game's ongoing tutorial, who pretty much catches you up on what just happened to your sister, and the adventure to rescue her begins. If you know me, and have seen any of my videos, you know that I hate tutorials. And wasting my time by Really? Trying to make you look cute for the video, Tom. He doesn't care. He does what he wants. So anyways, if you know me, you know that I hate boring introductory stages and reading stupid tutorials. Banjo-Kazooie has an absolutely phenomenal introductory stage. Spiral Mountain, you know, shows you off all your basic moves, and if you want, you can just skip them all. Cause it's not like after beating the game we forget that A is to jump and B is to attack. So yeah, Banjo-Kazooie is such a unique game. Shut up, Belvedere, that pun is used way too much. God, I swear this guy sometimes. Anyways, Banjo-Kazooie really is unlike any other game. The level design is absolutely spectacular, and those weird little voices given to the characters make it so memorable, and coming back to it really gave me that nostalgia that you get from true gems that you played back in the day. And regardless of what Nuts and Bolts says about this game, it's blasphemy, I tell ya. The shit is fucking blasphemy! Why would you put that in your game? Why would you diss on Banjo-Kazooie like that? People wonder why we hate Nuts and Bolts. People wonder, I mean, why do you wonder? Why? Why would you put this in the damn game? Sorry. Anyways, you know, sure it is a little collectathon, but there's reasoning behind it. The notes, you know, reward you for exploring the huge worlds. The jiggies, they give the world purpose. I mean, without them, they would just be open worlds with nothing in them. Kinda like Nuts and Bolts. So yeah, I mean, sure it's a little collectathon, but they definitely have the reasoning why, and it makes the game what it is. Which leads me to the level design. Oh my gosh, the level design in this game is so amazing. I mean, I may be gushing a little bit, but there's reasoning why. Every single world in this game is incredibly unique in its own way. No stage has any similar element than the previous and the next. Starting off with Mumbo's Mountain, which in my opinion is one of the greatest first stages in the entire N64 timeline. Just an opinion though. Then going on to Treasure Trove Cove, then to Clanker's Cavern, Bubble Loop Swamp, Gobi's Valley. All of these stages are completely different from the previous and have their own unique elements, their own unique characters, power-ups, new, you know, items, new moves. I mean, they are all so amazing and make you wanting to go to the next level. And that's kind of what makes Banjo-Kazooie such a great game, is it makes you want to collect these jiggies and the notes to unlock the next level. You really want to see what you're in store for next. You know, you want to get those new power-ups, you want to break open that, you know, note door, you know, you want to just progress through the game and kill this damn witch. And a great thing about these levels is you pretty much have to go to every single one of them. Unlike Super Mario 64 where you can skip some levels, in Banjo-Kazooie you cannot skip any level. On top of that, you don't want to skip any level. I mean, pretty much like I said earlier, it rewards you for your hard work in exploring the beautiful worlds. And, you know, I don't want to fight these bosses for no reason. You know, sure it's fun, but you want to feel rewarded. Getting that jiggy, you know, after kicking that box's ass in Rusty Bucket Bay, or, you know, shooting your new eggs, you know, at the huge monkey, and for some reason becoming friends with him. But, you know, it's all for purpose and good reason. And you can't forget about those Genjos. There are 5 hidden Genjos in each level, and from finding all of them, you break their spell that I got from Gruntilda, and they reward you with a Jiggy after finding them, making you feel rewarded for collecting them. And what would all these stages be without an Overworld connecting all of them? And boy, Gruntilda's Lair is an amazing overworld. And actually, it is #1 on most top 10, top 5 overworlds of all time. You know, check it out.
I couldn't not put this at the #1 slot.
But there really is reason why it is praised so much. You know, it is kind of a world in its own. It has 10 jiggies. It has its own shortcuts. It has its own secrets. You can unlock cheat codes if you find that Cheeto book. It has Grunty's sister that gives you secrets about her. It does progressively get harder too, and you feel like you're really climbing up there to find Gruntilda and save your sister. And what would all these stages and the overworld be without the background music? Ah, the music in this game is so awesome. I actually, playing through this game, have gotten some of the tunes stuck in my head, like that Click Block Wood. Okay, I'll stop, sorry. And I even played a fucking drum cover of Mumbo's Mountain. I mean, that should show you something about it. And it's not like the music stops and just goes to the next. It just flows together in this way. I don't know how they do it, but I mean, they really do a spectacular job, you know, once you progress through each stage, how the music changes just all of a sudden, and it just all, I don't know how, but it just all flows together perfectly. But yeah, as far as the music goes, Grant Kirkhope. Alright, let's move on to the characters. So, who wants to start out with Banjo? Bears! Anyways, Banjo is that hero that we all want to be. That derpy idiot who no one believes in at first, including yourself. Don't kid yourself. You didn't believe in him. Neither did I. But he turns out being the hero that we all love. Okay, we all know. No shit, he couldn't have done it without his counterpart Kazooie. But it does go both ways. Anyways, I love Kazooie. With the exception of that fucking Talon Trot. I mean, obviously, if you give us an option to run faster, we're gonna be doing it the entire game, and no, we don't want to hear this the whole time. And this too. I mean, it is rare, so you gotta expect somebody shitting in somebody's mouth at one point in time. But, I mean, come on. Alright, it is pretty funny after a while. So, it's alright. And you gotta love Kazooie's one-liners. I mean, she is hilarious at sometimes, and I know everyone hates that bitch, but I love her. And that nerdy little mole Bottles that everyone loves. He certainly is helpful too, like most of the main characters. But anyways, he teaches Banjo, Bears, and Kazooie all their new moves as you progress through the game. And who couldn't forget my favorite character? The Rasta Skeleton Mumbo! Fucking love Mumbo, man. He, for one, is a Rasta, burns all day. But, besides that, he transforms you into other beings. I mean, as if it wasn't fun enough to play as Banjo and Kazooie, you get to play as an ant and a walrus. Okay, the first couple are kind of boring, but eventually you get to be a crocodile who is adorable and can freaking tear apart all the enemies in the game and walk in swamp water. And the bee. Oh my gosh. I remember the first time I actually unlocked the bee in Click Clock Wood. I spent hours just flying around the huge level of Click Clock Wood, just flying around like I could, you know, do anything I wanted. It was a feeling that I did not get with most games, and Banjo-Kazooie gave me that great feeling. I know the point of Mumbo's transformations are to reach jiggies and notes that you couldn't reach normally with Banjo and Kazooie, but it's more than that to me. I don't know why, but I just love playing around with those, you know, transformations, just having a good time. And Grunty. No, I'm not going to talk about all the main good characters. Grunty is one of the most well-designed villains in video game history, and I mean this. fuck Bowser, fuck all these guys. Grunty is just so well designed, and I'm about to explain to you why. So what is one thing Bowser, Ganondorf, King Koopa Rule, Mother Brain, Sephiroth, and most video game villains have in common? They don't annoy the living shit out of you the entire game. I mean, you gotta love Grunty and everything she says being a rhyme, which I don't know what happened in Banjo-Tooie, but Banjo-Kazooie, she is the fucking shit. And by the time you reach her, you just want to fucking rape her! Rape her fucking skulls! She has one skull. But anyways, you just want to tear her apart, and the fight in the end is actually pretty challenging. It took me quite a few tries to beat her, which makes it that much better. And before I piss anybody off, those villains are obviously, I didn't say they were bad, because obviously Ganondorf is a bad motherfucker. Sephiroth, bad motherfucker. Bowser is a turtle. But, I mean, I'm just saying they didn't annoy the shit out of you the entire game. That's all I'm saying. Obviously, I love all those villains, but there's one thing that they all have in common. You don't really see them. I mean, you see them throughout the game, but not throughout the entire game. They bug the crap out of you. I mean, Banjo-Kazooie is an awesome game, and I actually am glad I played through it again, because I did find some flaws with it. I've noticed that the notes do not save, so it is very frustrating if you're trying to get a 100%, because if you find, let's say, 95 of them, or 94, if you die, leave the level, etc., you have to go back and collect all 100 of them. Not the 4 or 5 that you missed, but all 100 of them in order to get that perfect score. Which, you know, is kind of frustrating, and sometimes when my N64 froze during Rusty Bucket Bay, one of the most annoying levels out there. But, you know, I didn't mind too much, but I can see why some people do. And also that damn ice key bugged the crap out of me back in the day. And after doing some research on the stop and swoop, swippity swappity swappity swoop, swip-bers, I realized that back in the 90s, even if you found all those hidden Easter eggs, it didn't do anything. You got no reward from it. So pretty much if you play through the game, get 100%, find the, you know, rewards that you're supposed to get rewarded from, the eggs, you get nothing from it, you know? Which is kind of annoying. But I think that's the biggest flaw I found in Banjo-Kazooie, which is pretty damn good, considering most games the fucking controls are the flaw. Which I don't think I've said in this video. The Banjo-Kazooie controls are arguably the best controls out of any N64 game. I mean, even with those few flaws, Banjo-Kazooie is by far one of the best games to ever come out on the N64. And that is quite a statement, because when it came out, think of the games that it had to compete with. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64. I mean, the Nintendo 64 is no joke when you gotta release a good game, and boy did Rare do a fantastic job. That being said, I give Banjo-Kazooie a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, you really have to be the perfect game, in my opinion, to get a 10 out of 10. And there are only a few games out there that, in my opinion, are perfect. And I will be rating a 10 out of 10 game pretty soon, either next week or the week after. But, yeah, tell me if you agree with me. Tell me if Banjo-Kazooie is up there on your top 5 N64 games or if it isn't. Before I end this video, I do want to say I really appreciate the positive feedback that everybody's been giving me. Every single view, you know, I really appreciate every subscriber. I'm telling you, every time I get a subscriber, it just, I don't know what, it just makes me feel so happy. It just makes my day, like, that some people, you know, actually agree with me and want to hear what I have to say about video games, or think I'm a good drummer and like my drum covers. I mean, it really does mean a lot. Each subscriber, each like, each comment, it really means a lot to me. So really appreciate you guys that have subscribed. Really appreciate you watching my videos and giving it the thumbs up. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I really do appreciate it. My name is Ronald Ridge, and I'll see you guys next time.